Shalom Israel with Isupk. Start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commander General Yohana, start off 1969, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. If you're not in the Isupk and the Commander General Yohana, you're not of the truth. Officer Isupk teaches a Friday night Lashawan Qadash class. We're going to talk a little bit about the Assyrian characters and the Paleo and the Assyrian characters, where they come from and how to form them, and a little bit we'll do a little understanding of some tenses and words. We'll go with some words, and then we'll do some past, present, and perfect tenses on those words. And before we get started here, we'll let you know that we teach out of the Bible. We teach Lashawan Qadash, the Paleo and the Assyrian Hebrew. The Paleo is the original form of language of Hebrew that we've learned from the beginning, that the Most High gave us from the beginning, so pure and perfect tongue. You know, the Assyrian language is what we had in captivity, what we learned. We learned their characters because that's what they forced upon us in slavery. If you see over on the chart, Hebrew chart, and we'll go over that. We'll show you a little bit. We'll show you about the characters as people check into the chat, and we'll talk about it. But in the Assyrian and in the Paleo Hebrew, they have the exact same amount of characters, same amount of vowels. Only difference is that the characters look different. And we're going to dwell upon that a little bit, because people, a lot of people study the chart, some people don't. And that's why we have to get into a little bit what these characters look like, because some people, they need to understand, why does it look that way? Because in order to form words, and we're going to put up a few words on the board. In order to form a word, you have to first know what you call the alphabet, or the characters to form those words, okay? And if you form a word, you can't just go and just make a word without knowing the characters. So when you were in grade school, you learned the same thing on words and how to come up with them. So we'll put a few on the board here. Like we'll put a word like, let's say, let's put the first word here. We're just gonna put one word here, shamar. Okay? All right. We'll type it in the chat there. As people check in, we'll type what that means and how to write it out, and we'll go from there, because people need to understand what some of these words come from, Salaki, and what some of these words come from, and how they fit into the day's characters. How do they fit into the language? I'm sorry. And a word right there, like you have a word called, Salaki, let me see here, find a place to put that. Okay? Shamar means to watch, to be on watch. And we're going to go over that word here, and we're going to go from there. We're going to put some more words on the board. It's a popular word because we use it a lot. Like in the Hebrew greeting, we have Yahweh Shemar, Alatha by Shem Yahweh Shah. So we're going to put that word on the board to watch over. The word literally means to watch. Okay? So we'll put that down. We'll write it down. We're going to use, let me see. Yeah. To watch. It's like we're going to say, Shamar We're going to use it. We're going to write it in Assyrian and we're going to write it in Paleo so people understand how to. We're going to, let's see, we'll do the Paleo in red, like over here. And then we'll do, that's the Paleo Hebrew. It has 22 characters to it, you know? And it's like 22 of these characters, you know? And the first one, you know, you have one that looks like this. That's Shah. That's this right here. Okay? That's Shah. And of course, in Assyrian, it just so happened, in Assyrian, it looks about the same, like this. Just so happened, a Shah like that. Looks like that. Shah. Of course, you're talking about this first character here. That is actually a character. So in our language, we have, you know, you would go and you would say, like, Shah. We have what we call prefixes and suffixes in our in the I'm sorry, not our language, but in our oppressor's language, Salaki, in English, they have Shah and they put an ah there. But in Hebrew, that total sound is Shah. That's what it means. That's what it is. Okay. So, means to watch. That's what shamar means, okay? Verses tell you to stand on shamar, that's what they're saying. So we look at the word over here. Matter of fact, let's put it down right here. Let's put it right up under here. Like this. There we go. It's a little better. All right. Like this. There. And you can see the distinct difference with the curls up the top up here, you know, these little, this is the Assyrian right here. The Assyrian is in blue. So we'll say like this. All right? Assyrian's in blue. The Paleo's in red. So when you say Shah, then you got to break this. We have another character in the Hebrew, is Ma, right here. And it looks just like that. You know, Shah, Ma. And we're going to break this down and show you how these words are formed. It's important. It's important to understand how these words are formed, okay? Right here, you have that character, Ma, has its own look, has its own sound, you know. So you put them together, Shah, Mar. And of course, we have, we're going to show you the difference between Paleo and Assyrian. That's what we're going to attempt to do, because a lot of people write in, they want to find out, man, I want to learn Assyrian. Well, you know, it's easier to learn the Paleo first, because you can follow the Assyrian, you can follow the Paleo by learning the Assyrian. I mean, you can follow the Assyrian. It's like, if you learn the Paleo, it's easy to follow the Paleo while learning the Assyrian. It makes it a lot easier. Okay? So we have Shama. Okay, and then we have a sound like this. Ma looks like this. If you notice, it looks like a upside down M, sorta. Okay, like that. Just shamar. You know, just means watch. We're gonna show I am watching because we're gonna put some tenses on it. That's shawamar and yashawamar. And we'll put that over here in a second. We'll write that. But let's work on this word here because we're gonna use some more words to make that happen. Okay? Shamar. And if you notice here, if you learn the Hebrew in the chart, there are a lot of these characters that have meaning to them that sort of, if you look right here, you look right here, it's like, that looks like an M, because that's what it is. Okay? It's an upside down M. But if you got to join it with this hook, because that's the rest of it. That's what it looks like. Shawa or Sha, then you got to write the R. The R over here. Well, what does it look like? Looks like this. Looks like that. Shamar. Okay? And in Assyrian, the same thing. We'll move it down a little bit because we're gonna put some what we call connectors. Let's put it down here a little bit. But we got a few words to kind of detail there. There we go. Shamar. Now Paleo Hebrew has connectors to it. What do I mean when I say connectors? Well, how are you going to pronounce this word? I mean, what does it sound like? That just says Sha, Ma, Ra. I mean, how do you say it? So, what in Hebrew, we use connectors to make the word easier to pronounce or to enunciate. So we have two connectors. We have an upside down U and a regular U. Okay? This is an independent connector right here. This means independent. All right? When you see that upside down U, this is what it is right here. We want this to sound out by itself. Sha. Right there. Okay? And we want to make two sounds sound out together, like right here. We'll put that in there. Let's see if we can grab another color here. I think I got one. Yeah, we got it right here. You want this sound, mar, right there. That's what we want to do. If you want this sound, you have to use this M and that R. But how do you know what it sounds like? Because we're going to put a connector and connect the two together, which looks like that. And so we say Shamar, just like that. So now what we have, we're talking about the Paleo so far. We'll get to the Assyrian in a second. And the Paleo, like I said, it's easy to follow. If you can follow the Paleo, you can definitely follow the Assyrian. A lot of people want to get lazy and they don't want to read the characters there as they are. So Shamar. Okay? This is what you call a dependent connector. This is a dependent connector. They are called, these are connectors, because they connect the sounds together. That's what you want to do. In Paleo, you connect the sounds together. We wait for more people to get in on the chat there. You want to connect the sounds together. Well, how do you do that? By doing this. Now, Syrian doesn't have that. That's why it's hard to read sometimes. So we go here, we write an M, and the M looks like that. It looks like an N, but that's actually, you really want to see it right, sort of looks like this. That's what that looks like. Shamar, and then you want to write an R right here. Just like that. Okay? Just like that. Shamar. Okay? So now we have two words up here in Assyrian and one in Paleo. And it means to watch in Shamar. So when you read it, it's just that easy. A lot of people don't realize it's just that easy, and all you have to do is learn the chart, these sounds over here. So when you come over here, we'll have a sound. It's like Sha. Right there. That's the Sha that we're using right here. Right below it, you have another Sha right there, but only it's an Assyrian. This is what they did when we were in captivity, man. They gave us their characters and replaced them for our characters. But we have our own sounds. So the designated sounds that go with their characters still intact. That's what makes the beauty. That's the beauty of it. That's the reason why it's easy to read that way. Okay? So Sha and Sha. And then you have Ma. It's that little M up there. Ma. And then there's that Assyrian M right there. Then you have what you call the Ra. Okay? The Ra here. That looks like a backwards 4 because that's what this is. That's a Ra. That's an R. And here's the Ra here. Looks like a backwards R. That's the difference. That's what you're trying to do when you do Hebrew. That's the basic understanding of Hebrew. Paleo and Assyrian. The first thing you have to do is memorize the chart. I'm kind of doing like a refresher here. You have to memorize this chart to grab and ascertain every sound up there. You have to know those sounds. By knowing those sounds, it's easy to find these words. Once you know those words, once you know those sounds, you look that word up and you find out, oh, that's Shamar. Well, find out what Shamar means. You find out it means watch. And therefore, when you read it, you see it, oh, that's Shamar. Now you can read actually Hebrew simply by memorization of the chart. Okay? That's what you want to do. Shamar. All right? Because I know people still, Friday evening here, people still getting off work. I understand. And of course, in the Hebrew, we have ending characters also. Those ending characters will come about on some of these words I may bring about here and show you how they fit in. But you don't have connectors on the Assyrian Hebrew. That's why it's hard to read sometimes. It's hard because we don't have these connectors. You know, when we found them on the relief stones that we found in archaeology, we got the records, man. You know, we got all the archaeology records. And, you know, you see words like this on a stone. Oh, man, that's a Shamar. That's what it means, okay? That's one word, okay? All right, let's put another word up here. Let's see. Let's find an eraser here. Let's put another word up there. All right. So we're going to do, like I said, Paleo. We may get time, we may go over the number system also, okay? As a matter of fact, we can go over that right now. Let's go over that since we got it up here. We have a word, the first number in Hebrew is a Qad. Qad. Just like that, okay? Paleo. And of course, in Assyrian it's the same thing. So we're going to spell that word out. We sound out the right there. Ah. Ah is one of the sounds in Hebrew. And of course, let's just go over this for a second. You know, in Hebrew, the ah looks like this. Okay? In the Assyrian, in the Paleo, it looks like that. In the Assyrian, it looks like this. Let's see. Like that. All right? Now, you know there's a big difference there. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. So some people get up here and they want to know, first thing they want to do is, how do I learn Assyrian? But you don't read the chart, so how are you going to know that? So I got to take the time to go over some of this in class, so people won't have to wash their hands so much. you know, wash your mind so you can figure out how to do this. So read the chart. The top chart over there is Paleo. That's this sound here, the ah. So we're going to put that down in the Hebrew. We'll have ah, like that. That is the number 1 in Hebrew. Sort of looks like that. You know, like a sideways A. I mean, there's some rhyme and reason to Paleo because it makes sense, you know. And of course, in the Assyrian, over here, in the Assyrian, it looks like that. Okay, all right, let's move on to the next. So we're talking about the number 1 in the number system here. We'll go on to the number system. We'll do some illustration in the number system since we're doing it this way. Then you have ka. Matter of fact, let's just do this word in black here so we can see it a little better. Ah. Ka. Like that. Okay? Then you have ka. Ka looks a little bit like a ladder. It's locked. There we go. It does look like a ladder, but that's just a word. That sound there is ka. And there's another character in Hebrew that has a sound of a ka. But we'll get to that. It looks a little different, but in this case, I mean, you know, in this case, this ka right here looks like this when you say C-H-A-A. Okay, now we're not talking about the ka that looks like this. We're talking about the differences here. That's why a lot of people, I mean, I see some troopers and I see some young men and sisters getting, these don't look anything alike each other, but they sound just alike. You know, this is ka, this is K-A, right here. Right here is C-A-A. This character right here, C-H-A-A. That's this ka, one with the ladder. All right? That's a big difference. They look nothing alike. You know, even in Assyrian, even if you were to do that in Assyrian, you know, they look nothing alike. Assyrian would look like, it would look like this. Look like a backward C. You know, we sort of like that. Okay? Of course, like I said, that's a ka there. But if you want to call it, if you want to use, if you want to say that, but the real ka, of course, doesn't look like that. You know, you have to go to the chart over here, and you have to look at the real ka. The real ka looks like this. Sort of like that with a straight line down. It's like a stem, like that. That's ka. And of course you have to put a D on the end. Of course we haven't get to the connectors yet, but you have to put a D on the end, and you go to what we call a D. And that would, in Hebrew, Paleo, the D looks like this. Okay? Akkad. That is the number 1 in Hebrew. Number 1, okay? It's like saying one, akkad, okay? All right? In Assyrian, it's ka. Then you have a da. You know, try to write these real big here because I just want to take the time to illustrate. Don't want to stress the board out here. Just want to take the time out so people can understand. And then we're going to put the connectors here. Of course, you know, you have an independent connector. And why? Why do you have an independent connector? Because you want it to sound out by itself. You don't want to say ka. You want to say by itself. So you put an independent connector. An independent connector over there is represented by the upside down U. That's why we do it. That's why it's there. Okay? See what we have in class here. We have young man D'Angelo. Got his Hebrew name, working on that. Glad to have you in class, bro. Okay. Checking in from Columbia. All right. Now what we're doing here is just going over some basic understanding, the importance of understanding that chart. So the difference between these letters, you know, if you can see like the A here and this A and this ka and that ka, you know, there's some similarities. I mean, you have to learn the chart. I mean, if I were to take and do this, I mean, they could look sort of alike, but they look, or if I were to take the D, I don't know how I can make that look any different. I don't know, what, like that? You know, here, I mean, it's getting ridiculous actually, because what you really got to understand is this, okay? There's no taking the place of learning that chart over there. You guys can sit there and toil and turn and do whatever you want to do. It's incumbent on you. You the one got to learn. You the one got to learn this chart. All my job is to try to teach you. Once you learn the chart, because if you don't learn the chart in Hebrew, in Assyrian or Paleo, you know, I'm not going to say it's a waste of time, but it's harder. You're learning one class at a time. Instead of being ahead of the teacher, you know, when I was doing this, when I first started off, I was always ahead. I always wanted to learn ahead so I can be prepared for the questions he has to ask. Like he asked me, what is this? Well, that's a D. What's this? That's a ka. What's this? A. You know, how do I know that? Because I sat there and learned the 22 characters of Assyrian and the 22 characters of Paleo. A ka. Well, I said, D'Angelo, you there? Let's see. Let me see. What's the second? We'll let you think about it for a second there. Starts with an S. What is number 2 in the Hebrew? Since we're doing illustrations here, and we're going to use the number system to do those illustrations for right now. Okay, take your time. Not putting you on the spot. If you don't know, let me know. What's the number 2 in Paleo Hebrew? What's number 2? Starts with an S. Matter of fact, it's SH. Like that. See if you can remember it. Just try to come close. Look through your notes. And that's how you get good at doing this. You know. And that's what we did in class. Teacher, in a virtual class, the teacher just told us, you know, what's the number 2 in the Hebrew number system, okay? What we're going over is the characters, Paleo and Assyrian. It's time to go back to that again. Let's see what he got over here. I believe he got it. Got it. Hey, look at that shit. Angelo on the money, because he wants to learn. Clap it up for him in class right there, okay? When a brother wants to learn, set his mind up to learning, that's what he comes up with. And that's not an easy task. A lot of people think, because it took a little while for me to ascertain all these, to get them. You know, Shan Yah. This brother right here, you understand, you know, I think that's right, yeah, Shan Yah, okay? That means the number 2, so let's break it down. Shah. Shah is a character. That character looks like this. In the Paleo Hebrew, looks just like that. Looks like a W, but if you get used to it, you know, the Shah will always look like that. And of course, in Paleo, we're going to match it along because people ask all the time. It's like, right there. Okay? They look pretty much alike. Well, because maybe that's because this Assyrian language looked a little bit like that. Because that's what it looks like. Maybe sort of like that. Sort of like that, okay? Man, that's the best I can draw it today. But Shah, that's this character right here. All right? So, and then we have another character over here. It's the Na. We dropped the A, because if you didn't, you'd have a word called Shanaya, which is another word. So we have to drop the A over here. Okay? So in Hebrew, we use the word, we drop the N, and that, but the N in Hebrew and Paleo looks like this. If you notice, you're going to see the N right there. You can see it. Why am I taking the time to do this? Because people, it helps your memory to do that. Just like that. Okay? Shan. And so there is the, so far we did the N. Then we have one character, it's not Yah, so it's one word, one character by itself that looks like Yah. Sounds like Yah. You know, you look over there on the chart, you'll see it. It's right there. Looks like a Z. It ain't changed. Shanya. Shanya. We're gonna get you to put those connectors on there in a second. Just tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay? Because this helps you. But let's finish doing the Assyrian, so people understand that there are. Did I do that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Like this. That's the end. Now, only thing I can say is this: look, if you turn this sideways, and turn it around, it looks like an N, a long, elongated N. But that's what an N looks like. Sha and then a na, shan. So, okay, and then you have to put the ya over here also. So ya looks like a little bird in flight, right there, like that. Okay, that's a ya. Let's go back and do the connectors. What we want to do here? See if you're there, D'Angelo. Tell me, is this right? If I did this, just say Khan or La'a. Is that right? We're doing the connectors now. Let me know if these connectors, is that right? Is this correct what I just did here for these connectors here? You know, I joined the Sha and the Na, and then I put the independent connector on the Ya. Let me know, is that right? We'll give you time, ain't no big hurry. Take your time. Just put Khan or La'a. Did I do this right? You know, because if not, I can change it. Let me know if I did that right. Okay? For the number 2, Shanya. What you think? I mean, you know, you're talking about Paleo, and of course, Assyrian, like, you know, it doesn't need any connectors. It's got ending characters, and we'll go over that in a second here. Let's see. Did you write that down? Let me see. What just got written in the chat here? Shania, you said La'a? Nope. Why you said La'a? All right, let me break it down for you, okay? When you say Shanya, you don't want to say Sha-na-ya. You want these two sounds to be joined together dependently. You want this, and that's not a problem. I mean, you know, you're not right or wrong. I mean, you know, you tried them. I'm just trying to show you. I mean, it's not the correct answer. I'll put it that way. It's really you actually it's you join them together. You want to join all of this shan like that. You want to say shan ya. So you say shan. Okay? Just like that. So you want to do, and if you understand that, you know, just let me know. So you want to say a dependent connector with the sha and the na. Then you want the ya to be independently connected by itself, sitting over here by itself. So you want to say shan ya. Okay? You understand? Say Khan or give me something, say, you know, let me know. But that's how you write Shanya. You know, that's important that you understand that before I move on here. I'm not going to do all of them like that, but I just want to let you know. It's important that you understand that when you're doing a word, and anybody out there in the audience right there, when you're doing words, you want to understand how they sound. So if you look at this, you say Akkad, Shanya, you know, we'll do the next one. But all of them have different ways of sounding. The first one was Akkad, this one is Shanya. You can hear it, Shan. That's what you're hearing, so that's why we put it together, Shah. Okay? I hope you understand that. All right? While you think of, while you got your mind on that, let's work on the number 3. We're doing 2 things at once here. We're gonna do the characters, and then we're gonna do, we may get to tenses here, but right now, I want to do the numbers while we're doing it at the same time. But I hope you understood that, D'Angelo. You know, got Con up there? Okay, good. All right. Okay, so the next one, what's the next one, D'Angelo? Looks like this. I'll give you the first. I mean, that ain't all of them. What's the next one? If you want to write the number 3 in Hebrew, what's the next one? The number 3 in Hebrew. The number 3 in Hebrew starts out with an SH. I might as well go ahead and give you the other little one right here. A. There. Looks like that. Let's see what you got. See if you've written. Let's see if you took good notes, man. Look at that. Yeah, I'm right. Shalash. Clap it up for him in class right there. Exactly right. He's got that right, Shalash. Because he's been paying attention to class right there. As we get other people check in right here. Shalash. Just like that. Okay? Shalash. And we're going to break this down real easily here. Shah. Like that. Shah, la, shah. So let's break it down. But let's spell it. You know, the first thing you want to do is, you know, write the word down. You discover a new word, shalash. And we're going to do it in Paleo and Assyrian. So you can put these, so you can understand how to put things in sentences. Okay, so you want to say shah. Okay. Then you want to say, over here you want to say la. It looks just like it looks. I mean, L, that's an L. That's why the Paleo is a lot easier to use, okay? Then you want to say Shah. Okay? In Assyrian, we want to do this. We want to say like that. Okay? Shah. Then we want to write, what are we doing? La. The la sound. That's one of these weird looking, like this. But if you look closely to it, you can about see an L in there. Looks like a handicap, but you know, I kind of picture this an L. Like that. Sort of like that, okay? Then you want to write another shot. Like that. Okay? Okay, so let's see what we got here. You know, there's no ending connectors over here, so we won't have to worry about the Assyrian. But in Assyrian, you know, we'll go there first. Shah, it looks just like this W up here, but that's a Shah. The L, you know, they kind of look alike, but not really. It looks like sort of handicap or a little 3. And then you go Shah. So Shalashah or Shalash. You know. If you notice, we dropped the A over here because it's not needed. Because if you didn't, it would be Shalashah. The word is not pronounced Shalashah. That's why we dropped the A here. Okay? So how will we do this one? Let's see if you can get this one right, D'Angelo. You know, it's not a test you're taking here. We're just refreshing your memory here, okay? What if I did this? Shah. That right? Let me know if that's, take your time. You know, you're drinking your coffee or your yarn. We're doing Paleo Hebrew here, and Assyrian Hebrew. I'm going to break this word down here, shalash. So, how do we do that? Shalash. How do we do that? Is this correct? You know, you want to put la'a or khan. So I want to say, let's break the word down. Shalash. Shalash. It's always, you know, you go by what the teacher says, how he pronounces the word. You can challenge him later, but for right now, learn in one direction. So, you know, that's what we're doing in Hebrew. That's how I learned from my teachers, you know. Shalash. Is that correct? You know, take your time. Shalash on the connectors. And of course, like I said, the Assyrian, you know, it's going to follow. If you can follow the Paleo, the Assyrian is easily done also. You just simply drop the characters down that fit them. That's all. It's just about knowing the chart. It's nothing magic. You know, it's just about knowing the chart. You got to know that chart, man. You cannot, and this is a good way to learn the chart right here. You, especially the words that you just didn't know, or the letters that you didn't know, or the characters that you didn't know, or the independent connections you didn't know, or the ending characters that you didn't know in Assyrian. You know, there's a few of them. There are 5 of them. You know, those characters look like this. You know, they look like that. You know, ending characters, and look like that, like this, and then you have like that, and then you have the tazah. Okay? All right? That's what they look like. So, anyway, I'll give you a hint. This is like, we'll break it down. The Shah is independent connected right there. Okay? Independent. All right? But when you want to say lash, you want this sound right here that I circle to be one sound. So, I mean, you've said to yourself, because if you get these basic words together, you can pronounce any Hebrew word. Get these basic ones together. You want to say Shah, Lash. You want to say Shalash. Well, how do you say it? I mean, you know, you got Shah by itself. It's just sitting there. You don't say Shala, Shah. So it's obvious that the Shah got to be independent connected. That's why we put an independent connector right there. And then you want to join this sound together like a lash or lash. In this case, it's la, because you pronounce the la, L's la. Okay? So lash. All right? So, right. Shalash. Okay? Shalash. And over here, we have the independent, the Assyrian, Shalash, same thing. When you read that word, you can translate back and forth, but when you read that word, you have no connectors. You don't hardly know what it is. It looks like chicken scratch, but we have to learn it because the oppressor writes in that language. That's what you need to understand. So when we're writing words, man, you know, we want to make sure that we understand, oh, okay, that's what that's trying to say. All right, let's go to the, let's see, what do I do with that? Here it is. Very good, let's see. Okay, all right. What's number 4? Starts with an A. D'Angelo, see if you know. Whoever else is in the chat over there. Right. You know, we're right to number 4. We're going to stretch it out. Well, let's see here. All right. Okay. Matter of fact, I'll help out there. Let's see, unless you got it. You think you got it? Go ahead. See how good your notes are, because that's what's going to get you through understanding these. Your notes. So far, you're doing excellent. All right? You help them out there. Anybody that wants to help them out. Ah. Well, we'll go there. Arabai. Watch that. I believe that's spelled right. I think let's see what you got over there. I think you got it over there. You got it over there. Arabai. Clap it up for him. Damn right. Arabai. So he's got that right. Because, like I said, he comes to class, he's attentive, and he understands that. You know, we got other students that do the same thing. They probably don't get off work late. You know, looks like that. And of course, in the let's see, in the Assyrian, it looks like this. Like that. Okay? And then we have Ra. Ra. That's what the R looks like in Assyrian. I mean in Paleo Hebrew. It's like it. Okay, so we have Ra, and then we have a Ba. You know, you got to look over in the chart over there. It looks like this. Like that. Okay? Then, of course, you got a circle, and that's actually an I. And we're going to break that down here in a second here. Okay? And the Assyrian, it looks like this. Let's go here. Let's put it over here. Okay. Ra. All right. Well, that's a funky R there, but you know what I'm saying. Ra, yeah, like that. Ra. And then you want to do a B, look like a hangman, really. That's what it looks like. Arabai. Then you want to draw a little small looking Y there, like that. That's what an I looks like in Assyrian. And then it's a lot of people try to take shortcuts and try to find out, man, you know, how do I memorize all these? I mean, that's like telling me, I mean, I can't do this through osmosis, you know, I can't give you these letters. I can only put them on the chart and hope that you learn them, you know, but that's how I have to learn them. You know, my instructor, Officer Dawood, said, don't come to class unless you study. So that's what I did, you know. So, right here, Ra, Bai. So let's see. D'Angelo, see if you put on your thinking cap right here. And Mikey, who else in the chat over there? Can't remember. I don't know why women didn't show up today. We say Tell me if this is right. Look at that real close. Tell me if this is right. In the connectors now, because that's why we're doing the red in Paleo and the Assyrian in blue. This word is Arabai, and it's the number 4. So, in the connectors, am I doing this right? Is that right or wrong? Say La or Khan. Take your time. Never rush. No rush. Well, what is it though? All right. What you got? Does that do this right or not? Let me know. You know, and the only way to do that is get you a piece of paper and write it down and do it yourself. You know, write that word down. Tell me what the connectors on Arabai. Tell me what they are. Arabai. I mean, you got it right. You got the number right. 4, you know it's Arabai. So far we had Akkad, Shanya, Shalash, Arabai. And we're doing it in Assyrian and Paleo. And it's good because once you do these exercises over and over again, after a while you get used to them. And then before you know it, you start writing this stuff with your eyes closed, man. Because you'll be able to write any Hebrew. It's basic. That's why you don't have to use a whole lot of basic words. I mean, I got some more difficult words up in here. You know, like invade, palash, advise, tazah, anoint, mashak, appoint, wa'id, arrange, sadar. I mean, I got words here that I can put up here, but I just use some basic words here. Because that's all you need. Let's see what you got up there. Okay, yeah, you ain't got to it yet? Okay. Let me know what you got. Is that right? The connectors? Let me see. Damn right, D'Angelo. He said la'ah. He's exactly right. Clap it up for him. Exactly right, because it's not right. The way I got it written on the board, I got Rab I. That's not right. So he's correct. So let's do it right. Now the only way he knows that because he's a student, you know, he's paying attention. So let's do it the correct way. Right here. Then you want to say Ra by itself. You want to say by itself. Okay. You want to say Ra by itself. Then you want to put by together. Because that's what it sounds like. Arabai. It may seem strange enough, but now you're learning Assyrian because that's what it is. So when you see this written down somewhere, you can now see it over here in Assyrian. You don't have any connectors. Arabai. Man, there's no way of knowing what Arabai means, but first you have to be able to read it in Assyrian. Read it first, then go back and say, look it up in a Hebrew, dictionary or something or whatever. Or just ask me. Maybe I may know, I don't know. But Arabai, okay, that's the number 4. That you put a word down. But first, you're going to tell me the word. If you can't write or read the word, then how are you going to be able to tell me that it means Arabai? I mean, that you're trying to say Arabai. That's important. It's important. That's why we're going over the fact that we have to learn how to write this. Okay? We have to learn how to read and write this any kind of way. I mean, in the best way we know how. So I can. All right? So we have Arabai. We'll erase that. Let's do the word number 5. I know you know what 5 is, so I know you're already prepared to go ahead and write 5 down. Write 5 down. Tell me what it is. What is the number 5 in Hebrew? Should be Qadash, right? So I wrote it out for you. We'll do a tense after this, so we'll do one of the tenses. We'll show you something here. All right? We'll move on. We'll do this, make this the last one for a second here. So we have Qadash. So the first thing we want to do, write down Ka, like this. Ka, there's your Ka, look like a step ladder, right? Then you want to write a Ma, like that, Kama. Then you want to write a Sha. Qadash. That's what Qadash looks like in Paleo. And what it looks like in Assyrian? Well, it's easy if you study the chart. Right here. So you can try to learn. You know, don't criticize yourself. Learn the chart. You want to learn Assyrian? Here it is. You should be in class participating like you got the brothers doing here. Okay? Qadash. Like that. Okay? Like this. Qadash. Okay? We'll do this one here, and then we'll move on to tenses. So here's your chance, D'Angelo, to get this one exactly right. So what do we do here? Tell me if this is right or wrong. Is that correct? La'a or Khan? Did I do the connectors correct on this right here? Independent and dependent connectors right on this, Paleo? Because Assyrian, of course, doesn't have any. All they have is these ending characters that we have out here. Did I do that right? Let's see. Did you write that down here? No, you didn't. Okay, lock. What we got? Did I do that? Oh, let's see what you got here. Okay, good. Yeah, it is exactly right. It's Qadash. Exactly right. So, and he puts it down. Ka, independent connector. Then you have Mash. Okay? That's how you learn. So this is somebody who wants to, this is people who wants to learn their Hebrew. Okay? They pay attention. Alright? They pay attention to class. we're going to go over a few things in sentence structure called tenses. All right? And your tenses kind of tell you, like, let's do the first one like we had before, like I am watching. We're going to say, I am watching. Okay? Like that. All right? You want to say that? That's the first thing we want to do. I am watching. So we want to say, Anya. Sha. Wa. Mar. Okay? All right? And what that means, yeah, got it. In class here, Anya Shawamar. You know, it's I am. It's a masculine form. It's a man watching. Oh, it's actually masculine and feminine. That's lucky. So it's masculine and feminine, okay? Masculine and feminine form. I am watching on Yahshawamar, because Shamar is to watch. But when you want to say I am, and Yah, and you want to say watching, you want to say Shawamar. Okay? Because that's how that's the get these off the boards. Okay? But that's how you do that. That's how it's sounding. All right? And if you want to say, let's say if you want to do let's say we're going to do you. See, we took the Yahshawamar. You want to say you are watching, or you watching. You are watching. You want to say you. Okay? And that can be written down in the, I think it's masculine and feminine form. It's the masculine form, I'm sorry. A tha. Lucky about that. A woman to be different. A tha. That's not right. Get this right here. Write it better. Tha. Okay? A-H-T-H, need an H there. It's lucky. Like when you say you, you're watching. A tha, then you want to put shawamar. And of course, to watch, the word itself is shamar. Okay? But when you want to say I am, anya, you is atha. Okay? And you want to put wa in there. Shawamar. All right? That's the masculine form, by the way. So we put it over here in blue. It's masculine. Now if you were in class, we'd have you translate all them. I don't know if we have time to do all that. Okay. Let's do it for the female. For females, talks a little different, okay? Female is, you want to, you know, for the female, she want to say you're watching. Instead of saying aptha, you say apthan, if I'm not mistaken. Aptha, I'm sorry. Yes, same thing. Aptha, shalom ara. Sorry. We want to make it look different here. Let's see. Aptha. Sha. Wa. Ma. Ra. Want to put R-A-H on there. That's important. Okay? For the female, Shawa Mara. That's what you want to do. And then, so we got, let's go over these real quick here. We're going to discuss these because, let's see, we'll put this in blue so people can see it. And sometimes we make a distinction here with a capital T. That doesn't matter a whole lot, but it does. When it comes to translating, it's going to look the same. But in class, we want to do it this way. Okay? All right. Yeah, okay. When you want to say I am, that's Anya Shavamar. You know. When you want to say the same in the tenses that we're using the present tense here. And by lock you there. This is the present tense right here. Because we have past tense, we have future tense, and present tense. That's important. Okay? It's I am watching. All right? And the masculine. Let's see, that's male and female when you say I am watching. Because it's just an Yashavamar. You know? And let's go down to, let's say, we are watching. Let's just go say, if I was going to write we, see if I got a room in here. Yeah, if I want to say we are watching. Like, you know, both of us, like if somebody tell you to go on Shamar, you say we're watching. Okay? So they would say, Aknaknawa Sharamar Yum, when you make it plural, Aknaknawa. So you want to say Ak, Nak, Nawa, Shah, Wa, Ma, Maryam. You know, there's that plural over there. When you say we're watching, if I got the spell right here. You want to say oh, I spelled wrong. You want to say there we go, that's better. Knock, like that. anak, then you want to say nawa. Because you want to say we. That's like you putting we in there. It's like anak, nawa. Anytime you say nawa, it's like our or we or us. But we're watching. We are. That form, right there, we're watching. And you want to say Sharwa Maryam. Shawa Maryam. That's important to understand that, okay? All right. We are watching, or we watch. We are. Those are tenses. So far we have I am, masculine, feminine, we. You have masculine, anya, I am watching, anya shawamar. Then you have you watch. You have in the masculine, it's atha shawamar. Then you have you watching in the female, that's atha shawamara. Then we have we are watching, man. That's like nawa shawamariam. It seems like a long sentence, but these are some few tenses that you can use in the present tense. We'll go into let's go into the let's see, hopefully everybody got that one right here. Okay? We'll do one in the, that's that present. Let's do one in the past tense. Okay. All right. Let's do some past tense. Let's say, I watched. Let's say, man, say you just came off of Shamar, you say, I watched. And you can use these with any words, of course, interchangeable. So, but the tense says, I watched. Okay? So I already did watched. What made it past tense is this ed. I watched, okay? That's where we get that from, all right? That's why, you know, when you want to write a sentence, you want to use the different tenses, pay attention to this, what we're doing. So you want to, because it's masculine and feminine, it doesn't matter. Masculine and feminine, right there, all right? All right, so we're going to say Anya. Do Anya Shawama. Ta. Sha wa ma ta ya. All right, it's a big difference, you know. And of course, the word for past tense, we want to say I bar. I bar. Like that. Okay? So here's a word, here's a sentence. And when you talk about sentence tenses in the past tense right here, I watched. You already watched. You don't have to say Anya Sharamar, go and watch. Say, look, all you got to do is say Anya Sharamar Ta. Shawa Mataya. Sharwa Mataya. And you can see the word in here, Shamar, is right there because that's what it means. Shamar means to watch. But you want to say, and you can do all the words like that. What were some of the words I had in there? I advise, I anoint, you know. Anya Shamar Thawa. Thamar Ya. Slaki. Okay? Then you want to say, you watched. You want to say, you watched. And you say, yeah, did you watch? No, you got your credit for you saying you watch, because that's masculine and feminine again, okay? You got to be careful of the different tenses that we use over here. That's why we use these. All right? You watched. You want to say Ata. Same thing as we did last time. When we say you, we're saying Ata this time. Same thing. Ata. But this time you want to say Shawa. Shamar Tha. Shama. They just want to say Tha. Shamar Tha. Just like that. Okay? So there's a little difference there. But if you notice, Anya, I. Anya. Use the I all the time. You want to say you, anytime you use you, it's Atha. Okay, masculine or feminine. In this case, Sharamatha. Okay? I watched, because this is past tense, so you got to be careful there. Got to it's going to be hard to remember those because it's hard for me to remember sometimes. But you know, you see the base word, Shamar, Shawama, Daya. I watch. Shawama. Daya. You watched. Ata. Shamar. There's that word again. Watch. And you want to say ed there. Shamata or ata. Okay? Shamata. And that is actually masculine and feminine again. When you say you watched, either one, okay? You notice, let's see if we can underline this, it's important. Anya, like that. Anya, or Atha, you or I. That's worth writing in your notes for sure. Okay? All right? Got this. I missed it. Block you there. That's an R right there I missed. Now, the reason why I'm glad I caught it is because they're spelled exactly the same except for this ya right here. It's like that. Okay? Sharmatha. You can remember it that way. They're spelled the same, Sharmatha. When you want to go I watch and you watch, you want to say Anya and Atha. In the past tense, they say Sharamatha. Then put a ya over here for the Anya. Sharamatha. Okay? Let's see, what do we got here? What's the next one? You want to say you watched, and you want to say he watched. That's important. He watched. He watched. You know, he watched. This is like he by itself, not she. These are masculine and feminine up here. Sharamatha. Ya. You. Atha. Sharamatha. 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 But when you want to get to he watch, there's a little difference right here. You want to say hawa'a. Like ha. Ha. Wa. Ah. Just like that, okay? Hawa'a. And then you just want to write shamar. We'll go over this in a second here. Okay? If you want to break these down, of course, just use your chart. And I may do one of them just to show you how easy it is. It's not hard to do. I watched Anya Sharamatha. You want to use the same Sharamatha over here. Same thing. But just add a ya. And over here is just plain Shamar. But it's he watched. He watched because it's one person by himself. He watched. Past tense. So he watched already. Okay? Hawa'a Shamar. Hawa'a Shamar. Hawa'a Shamar. Hawa'a Shamar. Alright? That's important. Hawa'a Shamar. He watched. And of course, like I say, these are the past tense. I bar. You know. You wanna let's see, how do we spell it? I bar. I bar. And of course, you want to write it in Assyrian. It's I. You want to write ba. You want to write ra. Like that. Okay? I bar. All right? And it just means past is all it means. That's important. All right. He watched. And that's the past tense. I watched, to reiterate again. I watched. Anya Sharamatha. Ya. Masculine, feminine. You watched. You watched something. Okay? That's atha. Key word right there, using that atha. You still got this word shamar right here, if you notice this right here. Shamar. Here it is again. Well, let me put this right here. This right here. Spelled that wrong here. But too many Y's there. There, that's better. Slot. Sharmatha. Okay? There we go. If you notice, you'll see Shamar 3 times here in the past tense. Shamar, 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 Tha, Tha. Okay? You notice that. In the past tense right here. That's important. Let's look at some let's look at some, yeah, let's go back there again. Okay. There. Oh. We'll get something out of the future here. Let's see if we got room here. Yeah, we got room up here. Up at the top, we're gonna do one future tense. We'll do a future tense. This is masculine and feminine, of course. Let's do one in the future. You know, somebody telling you something for future. You know, it's important. Present, past, and the future, okay? Of course, this is the past. There we go. And we're going to do one in the future, as soon as we write it right. Okay, the future tense. The future, that word is Ithayad. Ithayad, okay? Future tense, all right? And it's all right, we'll do this one right here, probably just do one of them. We'll have time to write. I will watch. You know, you want to say I will watch. Let's get another. There we go. If you want to do something in the future, you want to call it out in the future. You want to say I will watch. Now I will watch. In this case, we're going to do it in masculine and feminine. You know. Yeah, okay. Where we at? I will watch. On Yah, because it's I, remember? On Yah, that's the difference. See that I right there? This I, on Yah, same thing. I. If you pay attention to that one, I will watch. So you want to say on Yah, then you want to say ah. Okay? Shamar. Now look at that. You see that same word, Shamar again. Okay, but the only difference is it's right here. Will. Not watched, but I will watch. Anya Ashamar. And remember, that same word, Shamar, means to watch. Shamar, we know that, but we'll put it right here anyway. You can use this on any words. Shamar means to watch. Okay, there we go. Okay, I will watch, yeah. So let's go over this here so we can see. Anya a shamar. Well, you can say I will, you can say I will invade. You can say Anya a palash. Anya a palash. You can't say that. You can say this. Palash. That means to invade. Same thing. I will invade. You see, those words are interchangeable right there. I mean, you can use the same, that's what it's for, of course. Let's do it that way. I will invade. I will invade. Anya a Qadash. Okay? So now we have, if you notice, we have went over the future, the present, the past right here. Yeah, the past. Right there. The past. And, of course, we went over the future, which means ayatad for future. Abar is past. Okay. And then we put another word up there so you can see how they can be interchangeable there. You know, I can go on and put more words up there. Just kind of letting you guys know that there's some differences, that you can use the different words. What you got there? Yeah, got it. You can use different words to interject, to interject different words to go on here. Say, I will watch. Anya Ashamar. Anya Palash. Just know, like Anya is I. You, Ata. He is Hawa'a. That's all you're looking for. Okay? Then what's the root word? Shamar. Shamar. And over here you want to say, I watch with the ED. For a masculine feminine, you want to put, that's just the way it is. Sharmataya. Okay? Let's see here. Right. Yeah, and then you want to say, if you want to say my masculine and feminine, you add the N, you write ya. Okay? You want to say your masculine and feminine, you add a ka. You want to say his, you add wa. Her is ha. Our is nawa. And so on and so forth. Your is kam. Your female is kan. Their ma. I mean, we don't have time to do all on the board, but from basic, we'll go over there some other time. But for basics, this is the future. Went over the future, past, present, and future. And for basic understanding of the word shamar, of how to interject it, and here's, like I said, here's one, balash, means to invade. I will invade. So if you say anya shamar, that's I will watch. Masculine and feminine, either one, either way. You can say anya palash, that's I will invade. You can say I watch anya sharamata. Okay? Or you can say anya palashtaya. Okay? You can say ata palashta. Palashta. He watch. Hawa'a shamar. You want to say palash. You want to say invade. Or he invaded. He invaded it. Hawa'a palash. Okay? He watched. In this case, we use watch. We use that because it's one of our UPK words for doing the past, present, and the future. Okay? So I hope we went over the tenses tonight. Hope you guys wrote those down. Hope you guys understood the difference in the chart and the characters over here. Over here in the Hebrews. Lockie will turn over this way. In the Hebrew, and the characters in the Hebrew, in the Paleo, the top line, the Assyrian is the bottom line. They are the same exact sounds. That's what you need to understand. It gets easier and easier every week that you go over the same sound. They look entirely different. There's some similarities, like the Shah, and everything else. I mean, most of them they just look different. You have to study these, especially the Assyrian. The Paleo will come easy to you because that's your natural language. That's the thing in Hebrew. You got to understand that. But if you wrote these down right here and put them in your notes, so it's so you can grow from there, and hope that you'll understand what some of these words mean. Hope you learn a lot of something about tenses, past, present, future. Hope you understood the number system as we interjected, so you'll understand how to use Paleo and Assyrian Hebrew. Okay, that's important. All right, and how to understand that when you're writing the characters, there's no easy way of memorizing these, other than, I mean, you can guess. When I first started, I looked at them and damn, they were hard, but not really, because I studied them every day, so it got easier. Yeah. But I looked from going from Paleo to here, so I just learned them both at the same time. That way I wouldn't let it get confusing. So when I saw the Shah and the Shah, they looked just alike. The Ra, notice some similarities there. There's no similarities between the Qua and the Qs, none. They don't look alike at all. And the I, they look nothing alike. One like a little small Y, one's like an O. The Sa, they look nothing alike, man. So you have to study these. The ones that look alike, take them in account and understand them, like the Ma, that's a little M there. The Na, there's an M there, but when you get to Assyrian, that looks like some sort of N. And over here, that looks nothing like an N, but that's what it is. And even some of the students reading them nowadays in class, in Sabbath class, it's hard for them to get used to it because, it's not natural. The Assyrian is not unnatural for us, so you have to learn it. You just like you have to learn the Paleo, you have to learn the differences. But once you get used to it, you'll understand. You'll see the differences that the sound makes. There are 22 characters there, so just like you doing the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to 26 characters, you're gonna learn something if you just try hard. If you keep doing it over and over again, you're gonna learn something. That's the key. Okay. So we're gonna do some. Let's see here. Let's find out what we got here. Right. Yeah. You're gonna learn some. You're gonna learn something about all of these words. They're gonna start to get familiar, used to them. You have to use them over and over again. I forget a lot of stuff. But a tha, you. Hawa, he, or his, I believe. And anya, I. Shamar, you'll get used to using that word. And here's a word you can add to your vocabulary, palash, invade, and just practice it. Write it down and learn how to write it down and then interject it in some of these, because that's why I leave this on the board so you can see it. And I had to erase the other one because the board is only so big. But if you wrote down the past, present, and future, then you will begin to understand that you have now a library to be able to write. What people don't understand, you have a library right now to writing your past, present, and future in sentence structure. I wrote it on the board. Those words are interchangeable. A lot of people want to cry, or a lot of people want to say, I don't understand, because you're not paying attention in class. If you look all of the similarities, shamar, tha, shamar, it can make it that easy. Okay? I, anya. We've used that every time we use I, anya. Every time we use I over here, I. Okay? We use you, a tha. You use a thon sometime. The point is, if you pay attention, you'll understand that that these words, they have similarities to them when it comes to, of course, it's like anything else, it's just memorizing their characters, memorizing their words. And of course, writing in the Hebrew, that's a matter of learning the chart. Because once you can read the Hebrew and you can see that it says shamar, when you see, Real quick here. If you sit down in Hebrew and you see that word over here and it says, let's do Shah, like that. Shah, Mar, okay? Or, that's in Paleo, and you see it written down over here where it says Shah, you know, you see it over here, it says Shah, and you see something that says Mar, and you see like this in Paleo, then you begin to understand, oh, okay, I can read that word. And you can say, Kazak Shapar, what does that mean? Shamar means watch. Well, how do I say he watch? Hawa Shamar. How you say you watch? Hantha, Shamartha. You know, how you say I watch? Hanya, Sharmatha. Ya. Okay? Or how do I say I will watch? You always use the Shamar every time, the base word. So Anya, I will. Shamar Yatha. Shamar Slaki. That's the difference. So understand your Hebrew, get your words connected, okay? And pay attention to your tenses, all right? So we're going to end class and hope you guys understood a little better now the tenses, okay? So clap it up for class, all right? We'll read some announcements. The security announcement. We are the ISUPK start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Roof for the new brother when a new brother. Sister comes into school. They are off limits for 6 months. That'll be saluted only. They are here to share themselves for the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After 6 month period, the brother and the sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 and 10 means 10th in Hebrew, Ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasurer, department of teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocations. Announce holy convocations from the sheep. And here's Slocky. So let's announce them. All right. So we have the next one coming up. The holy convocation is this. Memorial blowing of trumpets, you know. Monday the 6th, September 2021, Leviticus 23, 24, and 25. This is the first day of the 7th month, okay? And then we go remind Akim and Akwap to check the bulletin board in the hallway if anyone wants to be a troop in the school to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headscarf, and Slakia. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. Okay? We'll give a courtesy salute to our sisters and brothers here. So, but I'm sorry, we're going to give a salute to our brothers, then a courtesy salute to our sisters. Magam Shabbat, Amajam. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatham to the brothers. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Amajam Shabbat, Amajam. Yahweh Shamar Alatha Bahashem Yahweh Shai to the sisters, and for that we say, Shalom.